What's going on, Jerome's messy, raw, real garage rant per usual. And I kind of feel like Eminem. You're using way too many napkins. But now that Kirkwood, Jerome, Ezekiel Cousins is gone with the wind, and now the Vikings turn the page, and it is, I feel like now, today, is officially the start of the Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah era. Now, I fully understand that they were hired 2 years ago, but I mean, the Vikings have done a lot of changes, and the whole competitive rebuild thing, it's time. Now it is truly time, because it is now finally truly Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi's team. Now, here's what we mean. So first off season, the Vikings inherited largely Rick Spielman and Mike Zimmer's team, right? And they ran it back with Kirk Cousins. They signed him to a 1 year, $35 million extension. That is the only money that they gave Kirk Cousins, by the way. Spielman was the one who consistently gave Kirk Cousins the bag, the $84 million and the $66 million. And frankly, they didn't really rock the boat. They really rolled with a lot of the veterans. They ran it back with a number of guys, Thielen, Kendricks, Patrick Peterson. They ran it back one more season. Really, the only guy they got rid of was Anthony Barr. And then they went 13-4, wanting some more, winning the division. Everything is sunshine and rainbows. It's great. Then last off season, Thielen, cut. Kendricks, cut. Patrick Peterson not brought back. Diesel Dalvin Tomlinson was allowed to sign with the Browns. Harrison Smith took a massive pay cut. He was back. Danielle Hunter reworked his contract. So you're still largely working with Rick Spielman's veterans. And then another offseason cleared up a lot of those bloated veteran contracts. And now the fact that the Vikings got rid of the crown jewel of Rick Spielman's free agent and acquisitions class of Kirk Cousins, now it's over. Now it is officially the end of this. We are AR after Rick. ARS after Rick Spielman. Close enough. Because think about it, the only real Spielman guys left, Jefferson, obviously, Darisaw, but then you look at some of the older guys. Harrison, probably going to be either retiring, traded, maybe, back on a substantial pay cut, or just cut. Possibly. You look at Danielle, he's probably gone, with the Vikings signing Van Ginkel as well as Jonathan Grenard. And then you have Bradbury and Brian O'Neill. I don't think that they're mortal locks to be on this team in 2024. I honestly could see a Brian O'Neill trade, and I think that Bradbury may get cut. We'll see. We will see. But the important position is, of course, quarterback, and now it's time. Now it's time for all of this talk, all of the competitive rebuild. It's time to put up or shut up. And I do think that maybe it's unfair to say Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi are on the warm seat. Not the hot seat, the warm seat heading into 2024. But I think it's fair, because now it's sink or swim. Everything that happens from now on is completely on them and their merits. No more, hey, we won because of Spielman's guys. Or last year, hey, we lost because of Spielman guys. Now it's because of you. And you got to get the quarterback question right. I mean, you cut ties with Kirk Cousins. You would have liked to have him back if the price was right. It wasn't in the cards, because I still can't get over how much the Falcons gave him. $100 million in the first 3 seasons. It's just insane. Who were they bidding against? It wasn't the Vikings. There ain't no one else. They drove up the price on themselves. Again, put Cousins' agent in the Hall of Fame. But now you're probably going to sign a veteran bridge quarterback. Reportedly, they're in on Gardner Minshew. I could see the Vikings signing someone of similar ilk, maybe Sam Darnold, sure. But the draft, you got to get it right with the draft. Now, the Vikings are in a good-ish situation, sitting at 11. Now, I do think that if they want one of the big 4 quarterbacks of Caleb Williams, Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, and Jaden Daniels, they are going to have to trade into the top 10, probably the top 5. All right, so that's going to be the cost. And very popular thing. People get upset. Well, with Cousins gone, the cost to trade up is going to be increased, because now they have leverage, because now people know that the Vikings need a quarterback. Everyone knew the Vikings needed a quarterback, and it was going to cost what it cost. Well, we could have lost a couple more games, and you would have hired a draft pick. Yeah, but they didn't. So it is what it is. But now the Vikings, I don't think they can stick and pick at 11. I would be willing to wager a significant amount of money they actually don't draft at 11. I think they're either moving up or they're moving down. Now, they move up, obviously they're going for one of the big 4 quarterbacks. If they move down, I think that they could make the contingency plans on getting Penix, Nix, Rattler, Pratt at the back end of the first round for some of them, or in the second round for a couple of the others. So, I mean, the Vikings, Kwesi got to get this right. Kwesi has absolutely got to get this right, because the future of the Vikings is hanging in there right now. Because think about it. The Vikings, they'll never be bad enough just to bottom out. Like, barring several injuries to several key players, knocking down all the wood, don't see that happening. I mean, the Vikings lost Kirk Cousins for half the year, as well as JJ for a significant portion, and they were still in the playoff race right up until the end of the season. And they had to lose 5 of the last 6 to get knocked out, essentially, right? So, or 6 out of 7. Oof, that was bad. So, also, you're looking at next year's quarterback class. I mean, it's Quinn Ewers and maybe Shador, and then everyone else is just sort of, whatever. But the Vikings, they got to get this thing right. It's one of the deepest quarterback classes in NFL history, so they got it. Kwesi's got to knock this one out of the park. And also, hey, Kevin O'Connell was hired because he was seen as this quarterback guru, the quarterback whisperer, the guy who got Kirk Cousins' head out of his ass in Washington, won a Super Bowl with Matthew Stafford with the Rams. Now let's see it. Let's see it. Let's see the development and growth and maturation of a quarterback. A rookie TBD, Jaron Hall, Nick Mullins, bridge quarterback Sam Darnold. Let's see it. If you're the quarterback whisperer, prove it. Prove it. I mean, again, this should be relatively easy because the Vikings are going to fix the running game. Vikings are ideally going to fix the offensive line. You got Jefferson, you got Addison, you got Hockenson probably halfway through the season. I mean, if your quarterback can't succeed with all of that, might be on you, man. Might be on you. But now there is no more safety net. Everything that happens now, you can't blame on Zimmer. You can't blame on Rick Spielman. Everything is now on you. And I'm excited because I believe in believe. I think that Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell are the right men to lead this team. But now they got to prove it. And they got to smash the rest of free agency. They got to smash the draft, especially quarterback, and then we'll go from there. But, I mean, this is a fun off season because we just crossed the Rubicon, and you have no idea what's waiting for you in Rome. Will you be triumphant, or will you be crucified along the Appian Way? Who knows? We're going to find out. There you go. But that's it. Raw, real garage rant. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull, no production value.